Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Kuala, Abba, Kalkadas, Shalakia, allergies and shit kicking in. But, bear with me, we deal with these infirmities and these corruptible bodies of ours, these weak bodies, man, until we get those new bodies. So bear with me as I, go through this lesson, get transit lesson. As I often say, reporting for inside the belly of the beast, things that we witness here in Babylon the Great. And, we constantly witnessing our people as a whole becoming more degenerate, more of that degenerate mind that the Lord has spoken of. Our people have really separated so far from the truth, from these holy scriptures. And it was all by design, Esau put into play, by separating us from our heritage. When they brought us over here to the Americas, and once they conquered the northern tribe that was over here, one of their main purposes was to separate us from our power and from our heritage and who we were, and to indoctrinate us into a system, same as they did in the time of what's his name? It's a wicked ruler of the Romans. It starts with an A. After Alexander the Greek, they did what they call Hellenism, when they Hellenized our people, our forefathers, and made them. Actually, they really forced them to stop practicing the laws, statutes, commandments, man. If they caught you circumcising your child, or if they caught you, practicing these laws, these customs, you could be put to death. And many of them were put to death from not practicing these laws, man, or for trying to practice the laws. And, they done it on purpose because they knew that by separating us from our power, that would leave us pretty much defenseless, like worms, Not only Esau, Edom, but these other nations knew that. And so there began the process of indoctrination, or you want to call it brainwashing, which they like to term it as Hellenizing. And it's the same thing, it has going on until this day. When they came over here, they brought out what they call the slave Bible. They pulled out all the most pertinent information in there, and they only gave you bits and pieces that let you believe that you were heathens, man. That you were heathens. They flipped the script around and convinced you, from generation to the next generation, that you were the heathen. And there they were, the Lord's chosen people. But the Lord, thanks to our power, man, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, He is waking up our people. We're able to see in these times, man, because He has took the eyes out, and opened up our eyes, by revealing this truth to the elder prophets, before. It goes all the way back to Abba Bivens, way back in the late 1960s. That was the beginning of the opening of these seals, where we were able to understand these dark sands and understand who that lost tribe was that was spoken of in the Bible, and to put everything in its proper order. Now we know, when you read the Bible, who Esau Edom is. Before we received this truth, we didn't know who Esau Edom was. We had no idea. We had no idea who these white people were. We had no idea who we were or who these other tribes were. And that's why they took these names away. That was given us in the time of old. Moab, the Hamites, the Canaanites, Ishmaelites. By giving everybody new names and changing everything around when they came into power, they figured they could hide their identity and also hide our identity. So all these other nations were in agreement with it, of course. And Esau, Edom being in power, he's able to, with his might, with his power, man, he was able to push whatever he wanted to throughout the whole world. And that's how you know that they're the evil ones that's spoken of, that the Lord's going to come back and remove out of power in these last days, man. He controls the whole world. He's the one that's in rulership and in power. And Lord, made it so that he was going to be the last one in rulership until the Lord comes back in and put us in perpetual rulership over the world. So all these other nations have ruled, they have ruled at one time or another. And Esau was going to be the last. And he had roughly 500 years, really 1,000 years, but it's broken up. And you go into Revelation, and it speaks of that beast being wounded. That was a so-called Dark Ages. That's what they dressed it up as, being the Dark Ages. That's when we came into power and ruled for a period of time. That's when we ruled Europe, or those European countries, which really still is really Western Asia. That's why they changed the lands too, to hide certain things. And they hide that from you in history. That we ruled over them during that time, that we built up all those European countries, those castles and all those things, Those were Israelites that did that put in those words. When you go back to the movie talking about the 300, those were Israelites. So they did a lot of hiding in history, man. They try to cover up all these things, and the Lord is, instead of every day, is pulling back the layers, man. He's pulling back the covers because that gross darkness that he has put over the whole world, man. And that's talking about the shadow, man, the shadow of Egypt. That keeps everybody in ignorance, not knowing who the lands were, not knowing who the people were. Changed up the languages, they changed up the calendars. All these things were done to hide history. And then once history, if you left it untouched and unscathed and unbothered with, people gonna know who they are. They're gonna realize their lineage, man, what it goes back to. And that's the miracle of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. That's one of the first miracles, that the Lord has done, man, is breaking that seal. That seal of untruth. That the truth can be let out. That we can have a true understanding of this Bible, man. Whether our people receive it or not, in the last days, they're not going to be able to say that they hadn't heard it, man, or that it wasn't presented to them, that they didn't have a chance to repent. Therefore, the Lord can say, when he come back, I never knew you. Because you never took the time to know me. And how do you know the Lord, man? By reading his Bible, man. By studying his Bible, I'm studying his words, man. These breakdowns, these precepts is given to us. But basically, at the end of the day, 2/3 is always going to be the 2/3, man. If it was marked for you to be the 2/3 and not receive this truth, then that was your lot. Time. You have to think about all these years, man. lie about the age of the earth, man. Earth is really about 12,000 years, 10 to 12,000 years, I believe. And you go back to the second Ezra and kind of give you a breakdown on it. So we know we're in the last stages of this world, man. And these devils will tell you when the Lord comes back, the whole world is going to be destroyed. Another one of their lies. The whole world is not going to be destroyed, man. It's talking about Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon, man. Here in America, that's going to be utterly destroyed. And our homeland is going to be destroyed because it's going to drive those rats up out of there. So we have to stand in our lot, man, till the Lord comes back. Whatever your lot may be, you know. A few women that's here in Babylon the Great that's receiving this truth, you know. Stand in your lot. Listen to the word and be quiet. Keep your mouth shut. That's one of the hardest things in the world for an Israelite woman is to keep her mouth shut because they done drank that wine of Babylon, man. It's easy to fall into that spell of feminism and thinking that a woman is more than what she is, man. That she's more than her man. So that's why a lot of these women not going to be able to receive this truth because they're going to stay drunk on Babylon. Babylon gives them a false sense of freedom and hope and power. And that goes all the way back to the serpent, man. He told us that you eat this fruit, which is talking about the knowledge that they have, you're going to be as gods. And that's just talking about the knowledge that they're going to receive. The few women that's in this truth, man, that's doing what the Lord told them to do and standing in their lot, they're going to be delivered, man. We pray for that's in this truth that we're able to endure whatever he is about to pour out amongst our people. That's talking about the flood that's going to come in. We're talking about hard times. We're talking about the Gerber troops, time of Jacob's trouble, taking away food supply. Taking away these few luxuries that we know that we become accustomed to. So our people been pampered and fed by these devils, man. Mainly the women of our nation. And now Eve feels he don't even need, he's trying to offset the prophecies by destroying our people. With this new technology and this new digital system, he's trying to crash the whole thing. He's trying to crash this old system and bring in this new system. That's going to be more closely related to the Matrix, man. Everybody's going to have to be tied into the system. And then that's through that charagma, man. That's going to be in your hand or somewhere in your head. They got this thing where they're going to have a mass depopulation over the whole earth. Because they look at everybody else as useless eaters. We talking about these oligarchs, man. These so-called kings of the earth. The ones that's living up in luxury, man, that make all the rules on the earth. The ones that sit behind the curtain. They want to depopulate the earth. And it's only have a few that's here. Because now, everything's going into the digital world, man. The digital system. You got automated, that's doing everything. I was watching a video that the brother had, and they got damn robots, man, a robot truck that goes out there and builds a house in 2 days flat. 2 days flat, they can build a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, man. A 2,000 square foot house in 2 days, man. See, they get to the point they don't need you, Jason. They got machines and walk in the store the other day, machines, and they're cleaning the store, And that's been out for a while. They got machines and they're cleaning the store. They got machines that do deliveries. And the trucking industry, they ready to unleash a whole hell of a lot of robotic trucks, man. That they don't need a driver. They can go from coast to coast. They was doing this 4 years ago when I remember when they first started doing it. So you know they're ready to turn that loose. When these trucks will never have to shut down, only the fuel, man. And once you drive trucks, you realize, you know, you have to you can drive no more than 10 hours, then you have to go to what they call a break period. You know, you have to rest. So you have to take so many hours off. These trucks going to back and forth, man. And you know, in the fast food industry or the service industry, all that shit's easy can be robotic, man. They are slowly slipping us into this digital world, man. And it's done through gradualism. They slowly slipping our people into iniquity. And that's also done by gradualism. And before you know it, it's gonna come to flood, man. Flood you with all type of iniquity. He will send a flood against our people. The ones that don't give in, that they don't kill or destroy, they're gonna have to bow that knee to Baal, man, to their system. That's pretty much it, man. I just want to kind of hit those points. You know, with that, say shalom.